Before you judge me, please hear the whole story. Because if you had walked into our house that Saturday night, you probably would have laughed too. Everyone else did. Our dining room was full. Friends. Family. Neighbors. It was supposed to be a celebration. My husband had just received a promotion after working 12 years for the same company. He insisted on cooking dinner himself. I want tonight to be perfect, he kept saying. It wasn't. The roast came out dry. The garlic bread burned. He accidentally spilled gravy on his own shirt. Everyone laughed. He laughed too. Then I made the biggest mistake of my life. I looked around the table, smiled, and said, honestly, if I waited for him to do anything right, we'd all starve. The room exploded with laughter. Someone nearly choked on their drink. My sister wiped tears from her eyes. Even I laughed harder than anyone. Then I looked at my husband. He wasn't smiling anymore. He simply stood there. Quietly. Holding the serving spoon. His eyes weren't angry. They were tired. The kind of tired you don't notice until it's too late. He slowly placed the spoon on the table. Looked directly at me. And softly said 5 words. I hope it was worth it. Then he took off his apron. Folded it neatly. Picked up his keys. Walked out the front door. No yelling. No slammed door. No dramatic speech. Just silence. The party ended 20 minutes later. Everyone assumed he'd cool off. So did I. After all, he always came back. He hated conflict. He was the first to apologize after every argument. Even the ones I started. I cleaned the kitchen. Loaded the dishwasher. Changed into pajamas. Still no Ethan. I texted him. No reply. I called. Straight to voicemail. Midnight came. Then 2 in the morning. His side of the bed stayed empty. That's when my confidence turned into worry. The next morning. His closet was half empty. His laptop was gone. His passport was gone. His wedding ring was sitting on his nightstand. My stomach dropped. I called his office. He hadn't shown up. His parents hadn't heard from him. Neither had his brother. Then, at exactly 11:43 that morning, my phone buzzed. One message. I'm safe. Nothing else. No explanation. No I love you. No promise to come home. Just, I'm safe. I spent the next 3 days calling everyone we knew. Nobody had seen him. I barely slept. Barely ate. I kept replaying those 5 words. I hope it was worth it. Worth what? One joke? People tease their spouses all the time. Didn't they? That's what I kept telling myself. Until his younger sister called. Can you come to Mom's house? Her voice sounded strange. Almost broken. When I arrived, his parents were waiting. Neither of them looked surprised to see me. His mother handed me a small wooden box. I think Ethan wanted you to have this someday. Inside were dozens of folded letters. Each one dated. Some were nearly 10 years old. What are these? His mother sighed. Whenever Ethan was hurt but didn't want to argue, he wrote instead. I opened the first letter. The date was from our 2nd year together. The first sentence made my hands shake. Asterisk, today she laughed when her friends called me boring. Asterisk. Asterisk, I laughed too. Asterisk. Asterisk, but it hurt more than she'll ever know. Asterisk. I frowned. I barely remembered that day. He remembered every detail. I opened another. Asterisk, she forgot my birthday today. Asterisk. Asterisk, she cried because she felt guilty. Asterisk. Asterisk, so I pretended birthdays don't matter. Asterisk. Another. Asterisk, she joked that I wasn't ambitious enough. Asterisk. Asterisk, everyone laughed. Asterisk. Asterisk, I laughed too. Asterisk. Another. Asterisk, she says sarcasm is her love language. Asterisk. Asterisk, sometimes I wonder if pain has become mine. Asterisk. Tears blurred my vision. I wasn't reading random memories. I was reading 11 years of quiet heartbreak. Every joke. Every careless comment. Every moment I thought he'd get over it. He never did. He simply carried them. Alone. His mother gently placed her hand over mine. He loved you more than anyone. He just stopped believing you liked him. That sentence shattered me. Not loved. Liked. Somewhere along the way, the man who adored me had started wondering if I even enjoyed being around him. I drove home in silence. For the first time, I saw our marriage differently. Ethan had never forgotten anniversaries. He made my coffee every morning. Packed my lunch when I worked late. Rubbed my shoulders after difficult days. Listened to every story about my job. Supported every dream I had. And what had I given him? Jokes. Sarcasm. Eye rolls. Tiny humiliations disguised as humor. The next week, his brother finally told me where he was. A small lakeside cabin that belonged to their grandfather. I drove 4 hours. The entire way. I rehearsed speeches. Apologies. Promises. When I arrived, he was sitting on the dock. Fishing. Watching the sunset. He looked peaceful. Healthier than I'd seen him in months. He heard my footsteps. But didn't turn around. I sat beside him. Neither of us spoke for almost 5 minutes. Finally, I whispered, "I'm sorry." He nodded. "I know. I didn't realize. I know. I never wanted to hurt you. I know." His calmness hurt more than if he'd screamed. Then he finally looked at me. "You know what the worst part was?" I shook my head. It wasn't the jokes. It was realizing everyone else learned how to treat me by watching you. I felt my heart stop. He continued. "When my own wife made me the punchline, it gave everyone else permission to do the same." I couldn't breathe. Because he was right. Friends interrupted him. Family dismissed his opinions. People laughed over him. And I'd always wondered why nobody respected him. It started with me. He wasn't asking for perfection. He wasn't asking for grand romantic gestures. He simply wanted to feel safe with the person he loved most. Instead, home had become the place he felt smallest. We sat there until the sun disappeared. Finally, I asked the question I'd been afraid to ask. "Is there any chance we can fix this?" He stared at the lake. For a very long time. Then quietly answered. "I don't think you're a bad person. You just got comfortable making me feel small. And I finally got tired of pretending it didn't hurt." There was no anger. Only honesty. Sometimes, honesty hurts more. Our divorce was finalized 8 months later. It wasn't dramatic. There were no screaming matches. No court battles. Just 2 signatures. And 2 people walking away. It's been 3 years now. People still ask why our marriage ended. Some assume there was cheating. Money problems. Another woman. There wasn't. Our marriage ended because of something much smaller. Tiny moments. Repeated hundreds of times. Until they became too heavy to carry. I've changed since then. Not because losing Ethan punished me. Because loving him taught me something I learned too late. Respect isn't shown only in big moments. It's revealed in the little ones. In the jokes you choose not to make. In the words you speak when everyone else is listening. Because sometimes, the deepest wounds aren't caused by cruelty. They're caused by someone you love making everyone else laugh. At your expense. And if there's one thing I hope anyone listening takes away from my story, it's this. Never make the person who protects your heart feel like the joke in the room. Sometimes they'll smile. Sometimes they'll laugh along. But one day, they may quietly stand up, say 5 unforgettable words, and never come back.